Central Park, New York City, the 15th of November, 2022. It has been a cold autumn, with relentless storms and persistent downpours. Flooded subway stations, leaking buildings, and the homeless dying of hypothermia has dominated the news. It seems like nature is clawing at the city, trying to tear it down. The scientists say it's the effect of global warming. The doomsday preachers shout that we are at the end of times. Regardless of who's right, these last weeks have indeed been dark and foreboding. The cold and wetness has seeped in everywhere. The portable heaters have all sold out. People gather at cafes, warming their hands on cups of hot coffee, or turn to the bottle. The autumn storms have withheld their anger, at least for tonight. In fact, it is eerily silent. A light drizzle falls from the dark clouds. Fog envelops the city and creates ghostly halos around the streetlights. It's as if nature itself is holding its breath in wait for something. Unknowingly of each other, you both received a text message that called you here. It was from Matthias, a friend of yours, a poet and musician who has lived a hard life on the streets. Despite the hardships, he has always been loyal, even during the darkest times. The message reads, "You're in great danger. I know about your dreams and visions. Meet me tonight at 11:30 at the low Boathouse in Central Park. Come alone and I will tell you more." You probably tried to call or text back, but you did not get any response, nor did you see the little received check mark on your phones. He seems to have gone completely offline. With all that's been going on lately, you could not stay away from this. Even more so because it is Matthias. You both have sentiments towards this man. You've met him in different circumstances. He was a beautiful soul, innocent, and an artist with a great voice. Sang all over New York, on the streets and sometimes really cool gigs. And what he has come to now, you have, well, both feelings about. So, you have both entered the park from different directions and now walk along the pathways toward the boathouse, unknowing of each other. The park is all but empty. There are some odd late-night wanderers hurrying along the walkways with their umbrellas or hoodies up. The trees are almost completely bare, and their fallen leaves plaster the asphalt. Here, in the park, the ground smells of raw wetness. Scents of iron, musky mulch, decay, but also new life seep up from the wet soil. In the distance, above the trees, the skyline of the city shines with its magnificence. Yet through the fog, you can barely make out what seems like a far-off world. And the further you wander into the park, the more city sounds fall silent. After the storms that have plagued and ravaged the city. Now, it's eerily quiet. Wynter, you are walking along one of the paths, just getting by one of the cliff sides, stonier sides, in one part of the park. How are you dressed tonight? If someone were to come and rush by you, what would they see?
Well, they would see a young woman, with bright orange-colored hair, wearing jeans and down vest. It's a little bit dirty. Can happen, when you don't, necessarily have the best place to stay always and not a lot of money to spend on new clothes. But, that's what they would see, and they would see Wynter. They would see an artist, or someone trying to be one anyway. A person covered in tattoos that I've designed myself. A lot of intricate patterns. Not that I can really explain what they are, but they are mine. I created them, and they feel right. They feel right for me. They make me feel safe.
It's like they crawl along your body like vines. Almost a sense of home and like an isolation or an insulation even from the cold world outside. What are you feeling as you're walking through the park?
I'm worried about Matthias, of course. I feel a bit guilty, we all have issues in life, and me and Matthias, we share the same issue with addiction. A lot of Americans have problems with addiction. It's very, very common. Not everyone is hooked on fentanyl, of course, which is, it really takes the edge off. Really makes it all bearable, It makes it a lot more difficult to put things back together. But yeah, it certainly reduces the suffering. And, I got him hooked on that too. We enjoy that together. I hear he might have had an overdose. It's something that happens with fentanyl. It's really fucking potent. It's what makes it so good. But it's so easy to make mistakes with it, to take too much. And it all just ends, and I feel guilty. It's not my fault. It's not completely anyways, but yeah, I'm worried, and I'm afraid of what I will find out. I'm kind of moving quickly, because I want to get there. I want to make sure that he's safe, that actually all these rumors, they're just that. He's fine. He's fine.
Fentanyl gives you that happiness that life hasn't been able to provide. Normal life. Then it did to Matthias as well. And how do you feel about introducing him to this?
Yeah, I feel guilty, Like it's something I need. I don't know if he needed it, but I keep telling myself that people make their own decisions, that that we all suffer and everyone needs help, and we were just having a good time together, and he decided to try it, and it just turns out that it's real difficult to shake the habit once you've started. I haven't been able to do so. I will one day, though. One day I'll shake this habit, and I'm going to put it all back together. I'll get out of the city, I'll get out of the city. I'll get out into nature. I'll bring the cats. I have cats. There's a whole clatter of them that are where I stay. They hang out around there. I care deeply for them, and we're gonna have a better life together. I'm sure of that. And this park, it kind of reminds me of that nature that awaits in the future. I just need to put everything back together. I just need to get off the drugs. I just need to find Matthias and make sure he's safe, and hey, maybe he could even join me. Everyone needs a friend.
Easy now, one thing at a time. But these are all things that yes, you want to do them, but it's so easy that the mind just carries off thinking of what might be and what should be and what would be right. That picture of being somewhere far out into nature, in the mountains maybe, and having the cats with you, it's tugging at you. Are you sober or clean tonight?
I think I've made an effort to do so, but I don't think that's completely within my control, to be honest.
Well, why don't we listen to the dice then? Let's roll for drug addict, and with your broken state, you will have some minuses.
That's a 14 minus 1, 13, which means that you will take 1 hold.
You have made an effort. You are clean tonight. And for how long have you been clean? No.
Oh, maybe 2 days. I can't go that long without it, you know. I need it because it makes it all bearable, you know. And it's not good to suffer. It really isn't. You know, you shouldn't suffer. You should take care of yourself. And right now, that's what I need to take care of myself. But it's not going to be like that forever. So, you know.
As you just stop for a second, kind of catching yourself with all these thoughts and trying to focus yourself where you are, Mizzy, one of the stray cats that you take care of, leaps out from the shadows between the trees. She meows and strokes herself against your leg. It's like you have a feeling that she's been there having a look out for you.
Oh, Missy. And I try to pick her up if she is a cat that allows herself to be picked up. I'm not quite sure, but I will make an attempt at least.
Yeah, she purrs and mews and makes little happy noises as you lift her up, and you can notice that her fur is a bit wet, but she has been taking cover under one of these bushes that you see a bit off, and you can pretty soon feel a bit of warmth coming from her. She sits up there on your shoulder.
Oh, Missy, you're looking out for me. That's why cats are so great. People, you know, they always let you down. They always let you down, but not the cats. They don't let me down.
And you don't let them down either. You sometimes give your last savings or to get them food, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they deserve all that. They deserve a good life. They deserve what I didn't have and I've never had. If I can give them at least a little bit of that, then, you know, then it's all worth it. And me being here, it's a good thing, you know. I'm bringing joy to the world. That's what I want to do through my art and through my acts, you know. That's what I want to do.
Instead, you've had to resort to selling yourself, I suppose, among other things, to get the money to come together. But you've worked it out. You have a place to stay. Somehow life is sustainable. But lately you've been having these visions and nightmares. How do you cope with that? What do you do?
The drugs do help a little bit, at least, with forgetting and kind of putting it away in a corner. But then again, maybe the drugs are what's causing it. I can't really tell anymore. I try to focus on the cats whenever I'm sober. I try to focus on the art too. I try to create. Sometimes it's difficult to keep focused for long periods of time though, but I just try to do whatever I can to put it out of my mind, and because I don't want to see those things. I really don't. I don't understand why this is happening to me. I mean, haven't I suffered enough? Can it happen to someone else?
The question is, can it happen to someone else? Someone else that is coming in from the southeast and gate of Central Park, moving under one of the tunnels there, past the place where Home Alone 2 once was recorded. That happy scene where the little boy is hugging the pigeon lady. We've got Santiago. And you two are here because of that text from Matthias. And if someone met you along the way, what would they see then?
They see a man in his late 30s. I'm not as young as I used to be. I had a lot of my life taken away from me before I got to live it, but I made up for that, in a way. Dark hair, closely shaven, big brown overcoat. You need that sort of thing to carry stuff. And of course I'm carrying at the moment. One large knife. Need to protect myself. I'm wearing scraggly blue jeans, old trainers. I've seen better days. Looking a bit gaunt.
Yeah, it's been rough these past couple of months for you. You too have been plagued by visions and nightmares, and it has affected your whole life. How do you cope with them?
I don't cope with them. I can't do anything about them. They fucked up everything. Absolutely everything has turned to fucking shit. I can't do anything. I don't do fucking drugs. You don't sample the product, after all. Drink doesn't do shit. And it's not like I can go to a fucking shrink. I mean, I go to a shrink, that's it. I'm already done for, but if I go to a shrink, that's double done for, you know? Well, the boys found out about that. No. I need to find some way of fucking dealing with this shit, but I've got nothing. I've got fucking nothing. Except tonight, this fucking text. I know about it. I can help. Fuck. I have no idea what my old friend's up to. I don't know if he knows shit, but I haven't got any fucking choice, have I?
Who is Matthias to you? Has he helped you in any kind of way?
He was someone I used to know back in the day. Back in when I was a kid, on the streets. Parents checked out early in life for me, so it's mainly been getting by on the darker side of town. Yeah, I knew him from back then. He was alright. Till the drugs took hold. And he was too weak. That was the problem with Matthias. He was too fucking weak. I had a soft spot for him, but I couldn't let it get in the way of things, so I had to distance myself from him. I had to. It was for his own fucking good. And what does he do? He takes all these fucking drugs, and then he becomes nothing. That's what happens when you go down that route. You become nothing. Like I am right now. Although I swear to God, this issue with me isn't my fault. It's not my fucking fault.
When did you last see him?
4 years ago, I guess. Maybe it was 3. I don't know. Busy years.
Unlike Wynter, you're staying away from the drugs. You occasionally hit the bottle. But tonight you are sober then.
I'm sober. Got some cigarettes with me. Yeah, cigarettes are fine, don't judge me. But no, I'm crystal clear. I can't get lost. It just makes those dreams worse. It makes them worse. Fucking stupid dreams. I know it's some bullshit psychoanalysis rubbish going on in my mind, but I can't shake it off.
And this night, this quiet night, all in the middle of this, the sound of your footsteps get muffled by the thick humidity just hanging in the air. And as you rattle one of those cigarettes out of its package, you have an unnerving feeling of being watched. Something or someone is observing you. You are sure of it.
Of course they are. the middle of fucking Central Park in the middle of the night and by myself. This is the kind of situation where you gank a guy, you know? You say, come meet me in the park, and then 7 people come out of a bush, you hold the knife to his throat, and you get what you're owed. And I'm walking into it, but I haven't got a fucking choice. I make sure to feel for my knife, it's there. If they come for me, I will fucking gut them, but for now I'm going to try and just hide behind a bush and just wait a few seconds.
Yeah, you do that. Take a few steps back, just holding your breath. Even so, the smells of the park permeates the air, gets into you, and you feel the bark of a tree that you are incidentally leaning against your finger. It's almost like it's breathing against you. Would you like to observe the situation, or are you just going to stay there for a bit?
I'll observe the situation. 3. One question. The one question I'll ask before you make your move is, what's being hidden from me?
Eyes. Many, many eyes. It's not people, it's the trees. The trees are watching you, the branches, the twigs, the leaves. They're looking at you. They're judging you. There is no danger, you think. No, how could there? But the trees in Central Park seem to be holding their breaths, still with puffed chest, and you feel for a second the bark move against your hand.
I take out my knife and I fucking stab the tree. Take that, you stupid motherfucking tree. Yeah? Yeah? And I just stab it a few times.
There are dull thuds of the steel, and you pieces of bark satisfyingly fly out, and a rush of adrenaline in your mind just blurs everything out. You feel your vision reddens for a bit. It's like it just boils over. The knife gets stuck. You have to pull it out before starting to just get on in deeper towards the low boathouse. Mizzy whimpers suddenly and tries to squirm out of your grasp, gets up on your shoulder and jumps off and runs away into the night.
Oh, Missy, where are you going? Oh, she'll be fine. The cats, they always take care of themselves, you know, they're better than people that way.
And you thought Matthias actually had overdosed as you start walking again. At least now he must be alive. But what is this fucked up shit about him knowing about your dreams and visions? Just before you get to the place, you see a leaf plastered to the asphalt. It is bigger, much bigger than the other leaves that normally grow in the park. You cannot see where it could possibly have come from. It started to decay, and you can see its small veins and intricate details. It just pulls you down to kneel down by it. There's a deep sense of sadness to it that you can't help but empathize with. You feel it dying.
Yeah, we're all dying, aren't we? And we all are where we're not supposed to be. We should all be somewhere else, just like this leaf. I moved to pick it up.
It tears as you try to remove it, as it's plastered to the ground. It's as if it's been run over by one of the park keeper's little carts, and you're not able to pick up the whole thing. It gets torn off in some bits, but you still get up a fairly big bit of it. As you look around, there's no tree that it matches with. You have no idea how that got there.
Someone must have brought it. Or maybe the wind. Maybe the wind took it and just made it fly from whatever great forests it comes from. you know? Must be some place better than this. Everything's better than fucking New York.
Maybe it's a place you could go to one day. Maybe if you keep this for a bit and hold on to it.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'd like to go there. That would be an escape from here. God, I want to escape from here.
And just over by the next turn up the road is the low boathouse. You see it now, and you hear a phone go off, not far away. And it's your phone, Santiago. It's ringing. As you pick it up in your hand, you see that it's your ex, Nichelle. Do you answer?
No. I hang up immediately. I don't have time for her right now.
Yeah.
Why should I? She's probably just calling, be like, hey, I need another $200 for this or $300 for that. Well, guess what? I haven't fucking got any dollars at the moment. Fucking got $5 in my pocket, that's it. So, fuck her.
Yeah. Fuck her. It's not your fault she's pregnant. Well, it's as much her fault, at least, that it's yours. You didn't want a kid. Why is she keeping it?
Exactly. Just, look, she'll be fine. I've got my own problems, so no, I don't answer the call.
As you then put your phone down, you see a silhouette moving towards you. And there you suddenly are, the two of you, standing by the low boathouse, which is a one-story building, dedicated primarily to boat renting, but also features a restaurant with a panoramic view over the lake that is now just a blank mirror with fog over it. It closes at 9 p.m. and is, at this hour, dark and silent. There you are, and you know each other. You have met before. What do you do?
Santiago met at a was a street party. You know, I was drawing on a wall there, you know, making my patterns and all that, and I think we were all buzzed or high, or probably both. And yeah, I think we created some stuff together, and I remember it as a really beautiful time. I really felt like a connection. Felt a bit safe around him, you know? It's not so common to feel that way around people you meet on the streets of New York. So, yeah. Just that, you know, I just fuck it all up like I fucked everything else up. That's why I haven't really tried to connect with him again, you know? I'm happy to see him, though, somehow.
It's strange that he's here. It's a little bit inconvenient, or, well, depends on what Matthias wants, really. You have no idea what he is doing here in the middle of the night as well. And, what is your reaction then as you suddenly... It takes you a little while to recognize Wynter, Santiago.
Suspicion at first. I kind of slowly reach into my jacket, reaching for my knife, but then I do actually recognize her. What the fuck? It's... Yeah, I do know her. She was okay. Fucking threw it all away. She kept hanging out with stupid guys as well. Beat one of them up one time. That was fun. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess she just reminds me of something that needs looking after, which is stupid, but... Yeah, she was okay. But why the fuck is she here now?
As you think about that time when you did beat someone up for her, one of her exes in fact, and one of her dealers, unfortunately it's often gone hand in hand, there is a short sting of pride there, feeling that you did that, and you feel this sense of protection towards her. And it's almost like you feel the same, like when you see Santiago there. He looks quite a mess as well. He was a king of his gang, that's what you remember. So what do you both do now that you have recognized each other?
Hey, you, you're here to see Matthias?
I squint a little at Wynter and I say, "What are you doing here? You here to see someone?"
Yeah, Matthias, he wanted to see me. I figured maybe he'd call you as well, because, we both know him, right?
We do know each other, yeah, we know each other, yeah. So what, he called you to just come and hang out? This is... Okay. Sure. I feel irritated. This isn't where I want her to be right now. This is supposed to be something serious. I don't understand why she'd been called as well. This isn't a get-together. This is... He's telling me he knows something about what the fuck is wrong with me.
Yes, the things that fucked up your life, that ruined everything for you. This is... You're gonna get help from him. You don't want to spill all this in front of her. She doesn't even know how far you've fallen.
Exactly. I kind of just scrub my feet on the floor and say, alright, then let's just go in. I'm here to see Matthias. If you are as well, let's, we can see him at the same time. You, doing okay?
Oh, yeah, it's, last few years have been a bit rough. It's, city isn't kind to anyone who lives here, It's, but I'm getting out of here soon, just gotta take care of a few things first. Yeah.
I feel a little twinge of annoyance at her saying getting out of here. After all, what's wrong with New York? New York's a great city. All you need to do is learn the rules and you can be a king here. So why does she want to leave? I'm not leaving. I'm never leaving.
She seems kind of chill and happy to see you. You haven't seen anyone be happy to see you, not like that, not in a friendly kind of way, not in a way that not in a way where they're not wondering if you're gonna cut them up with a knife or if they've stepped wrong or even looking down at you or whatever. Not just like this.
Throws me off, but okay. I kind of shrug, trying to seem nonchalant about it all. Yeah, great, get out of New York, yeah, you go to Wyoming or something. Or Atlanta, there we go, yeah.
Yeah, why not? That Wyoming, that would be cool. No, North Dakota, like nature. Nature would be nice. I mean, better than this freaking urban jungle that we live in, right? I mean, some trees, like proper trees, not Central Park trees, like actual.
Oh yeah, trees are fucking great. Fucking trees with their eyes and I love trees. Yeah, let's get. And I kind of just stop speaking and try and find the entrance to this building.
Yeah, it is still dark and like, what the fuck? This place is closed. What does it mean just meeting up here? And as you look around, you see him first, Wynter. A person, the shape of a person, comes walking out of the shadows. He stumbles, and you both hear this. Turn your gazes to him, and then he regains his footing. As he steps out into the street light, you both recognize Matthias. He is nothing more than skin and bones. His clothes are soaked as if he's been standing out in the rain. He's just wearing thin shirts that are clinging to his skin, and he has a feverish and manic stare in his eyes. He looks paranoid and hyper-vigilant, his eyes darting in different directions. Yeah, you're both here. Good. There's someone coming. How do you both react when you see him?
Matthias, I'm so happy that he's okay. I thought I'd killed him, that the drugs had gotten him. That's what I'd heard. Of course, there was this message, but he's fine. I mean, it doesn't look all that good, but I mean, he's alive. That's what counts. So yeah, I kind of let that out, like, Matthias.
I see Wynter acting all surprised and lovey-dovey. For a moment, I am almost reminded of better days, but then I focus on what he just said. Someone's coming. What the fuck does he mean? I lean forward quickly, reaching for my knife, and say, Who's coming? What the fuck? Who's coming?
He's reaching out his hand and just he grabs a hold of your shoulder. I've seen her here in New York. I didn't know she was, but now I get it. Now I know, and we need to find her. Shit. And it's like he's starting to cower and look at nothing in the skies, and he starts saying, "See, you don't remember? This is where we grew up. The trees, the leaves." And he's shuddering. He must be deathly cold being out here like this.
I'm trying to move up to him to try to hold him, give him a little bit of warmth, if I can.
Yeah, and he just falls into your arms like a hug, and he's really holding, and you can feel it. His whole body's shaking. We're all in danger, and you gotta feel him too. How he's turned on his eyes on you. He's fucking with our minds.
I let out a heavy sigh. He's gone completely fucking insane. This was a mistake. I shouldn't have come here. I shouldn't have come here. I don't know what he's told Wynter, but this was a fucking mistake. He can't help me. He can't even help himself. Look at him. And I just kind of sigh and start looking away.
As you do, he just tears himself free because he feels it's like your body is starting to turn away, and he feels it. No, don't go. I have something. I have something, okay? It's real. It's not the drugs, I promise. It's not the fucking drugs. And he looks at you with really wide, dilated pupils, so you make what you will from that. But he starts patting his pockets down. Here. The murders. You must have heard of the murders. And you have heard of several murders. A series of murders these last months in New York City. Savage and brutal ones. And he pulls out printed copies from the New York Globe. Here. Look at this. Look at this. And he just pushes them towards your chest, Santiago.
I wrinkle my nose a little, and then I do start looking over the stuff. After all, he says he's got something. What the fuck is it?
It's 3 murders, 3 articles that you can see. 1 Joshua Bailey, and 1 Winger family, like a whole family, and someone called Michael Vincent. You try to make sense of the articles, but Matthias is getting more in the way than he is helping. He's trying to point out things and make connections in a feverish kind of way, and he turns to you, Wynter, to get you engaged as well. He's getting here, all right? And you can just smell the reek of cigarettes, and you see all these articles that are stained with coffee. There are scribbles and notes in different colors from color pens. It's too dark, and it's not a perfect spot to read them. You see, this is all how it's gonna go down. This is how it's coming for us as well, because you're feeling it. I know you're feeling it. I know you're seeing it just as well. I know how we, 3 of us, we're connected. He just grabs both of you with his arms.
He's right, isn't he? I'm seeing it, right?
You have definitely seen terrifying visions and feelings and things that are coming back, and they're just now at the edge of your mind, and you're starting to feel like it's a little bit too close for comfort, and you really would like to have a little of that you have, those eye drops that you have back home, just up in your loft. You didn't want to bring them here because the temptation would be too great to take them. But now you get that sensation of just wanting to get out of here.
I really should be getting out of here, It's, yeah. I shouldn't be here anymore, and I don't think I can help Matthias. But no, just try and fight it a bit, okay? I can always go for it later, maybe I can help him.
Look, Wynter, could you just stop him touching the shit? Just calm him down.
Oh, yeah.
Wynter, you can do that, can't you? Yeah, you can. Good.
Of course. Yeah. Matthias, don't worry. I try to stroke his forehead, and I said, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We'll get you someplace warm, all right? And get you out of this wet stuff. And
yeah, we can't stay here long. Okay? But just look.
I am looking. Look, buddy. Fucking just snap out of it. What? Okay, seeing stuff, not seeing stuff. Who gives a shit? How does this? Oh no, some people, they're dead. Big fucking whoop. What does that have to do with us? Me?
Don't you remember what happened in the city near the desert? That time when he got us when we were all the three together. Don't you remember? This has happened before. We've been on it. We killed again. You see? The murders. And he starts ruffling with it. And he just stops himself. No, not that. And starts patting down his trousers for his other pockets. Here. And he pulls out something else. He pulls out 2 red leaves. And he picks them up and he suddenly slows down and just holds them up in front of each of you. See this? See this? This is how I know his clothes. Yeah.
They're beautiful. Is it anything like the leaf that I found before?
No, these leaves look like blood red oak leaves, and they're slightly drawing you in as you're looking at them.
Yeah, they're so beautiful. They're beautiful, Matthias. You found something special here, I think.
I snatch away one of the leaves. I don't care at all about its beauty. I do want to look at it, though, so I just snatch one from his hand and just say, what's so special about this fucking leaf?
And this is how you stand. Matthias holding one leaf up to Wynter, as you are kind of grasped. You're just stuck into the vision of this beautiful oak leaf, or what it looks like. And Santiago, you take yours and move away and stand near the boathouse, just looking at it. And the sky is azure blue. The city with the white limestone buildings spread out around you. It is an old, ancient city. And Santiago, instead of seeing the lake in front of you, you see the sea. It's glimmering in the sunlight. There are old-looking steamships in the harbor, and a warm wind blows from the inland desert. Ah, there's that familiar smell of sweet tobacco. And there is also the smell of blood. And you are there, the 3 of you, on the flat ceiling. A torn canopy flaps in the wind. A bronze bowl has been knocked over. It rings against the stone as it settles. The fresh peaches have rolled out over the roof. And something is there with you. A shape, a shadow, a man whose presence absorbs all sunlight and blocks out the sky. Wynter, you cannot move. All you feel is pain. Your arms and legs are broken in many places. It was the man who did it, and he did it with ease. It took him mere seconds. Break. You are thrown aside as a ragdoll, rolling over, sprawling out on the roof, and you can do nothing but watch in terror. As Santiago, you are trying to crawl away from that shape. Your intestines are hanging out of your stomach. You're trying to hold them in with one hand as you're crawling with the other, leaving a bloody trail on the white limestone. That shadow, ripped them out of you. He just grabbed at you, and he forced you to look into his eyes while he did it. But you see the black revolver just some feet away, and you crawled towards it, tears running down your face. You need to reach it to either shoot him or yourself. It all plays out before your eyes, and you feel that Matthias is there as well. Santiago, you're looking away. Your mind is only set on the revolver, but you see him, Wynter. He looks different. A teenage Arab boy in white traditional clothing, shaking in terror. In fact, you all look different. You have a Middle Eastern appearance and style of clothing. The shadow towers over Matthias, who begs in Arabic, "Forgive us, forgive us!" A heavy foot pushes his head down on the limestone. The dark man halts for a few seconds, contemplating the prayer, and he looks you in the eyes, Wynter. And then he applies force to the head of Matthias, cracking it open with a pressure, and there's a sudden explosion of bone, brain, blood, and flesh that spray out on the ceiling, floors, and walls. The revolver is just out of reach, Santiago, but you feel how the shadow fixes his attention on you, and then there is a scream. A veiled woman comes running up one of the narrow stairs onto the ceiling. She stumbles in horror at what she sees. You feel you all know this woman, and it feels like you have always known her, ever since the dawn of time. She rips off her veil, and the shadowy gestalt halts. She stands between the man and Santiago, protecting you. She raises a curved knife. It reflects the sunlight, which shines painfully bright, and you can see her for a second, Santiago. You can see her eyes. You have seen those eyes so many times. Dark green, like the surface of a still forest pond. She is your mother. The figure roars in anger at her defiance. The roar is filled with hatred and sadness, hiding sobs and whimpers under a monstrous growl. Red leaves dance around the shadow, appearing to come out of him as if he was a rift into some strange existence. She stumbles backwards for a second, and he immediately grabs her. He lifts her up over his head, and with a wet sound and a gurgling scream, she is effortlessly ripped apart. His dark shape is showered in her blood, and you see dark roots creep out and burrow into the ceiling and walls. The limestone cracks, and cold wind spills out, revealing a dark forest realm hidden behind it. The shadow throws the two halves of your mother's body aside, and a guttural voice is heard, more ancient than the world itself. "Sin! Fear! You have defied me! You have betrayed me!" Santiago, you realize that Sin is your true name. It is what you always have been called. And Wynter, Thea is the name that has followed you through many lives. You both hear the limestone crack beneath you, and black, gnarled roots, tough as iron, slither up and ram themselves into your flesh as the shadow falls over you. Sin. Sin. That's your name. You feel the shadow gripping your head, and you stare into its face. You scream, scream, and scream as he enters through you, ripping your body asunder. And even after your death, your corpse continues to scream in terror. And the screams are so loud that it wakes you both up. and there is silence. Again, it's just the soft fall of rain on the ground. And you're back in the park. You have collapsed. Sin, or Santiago, Wynter, or Thea, you return from this vision. You shiver in the cold. You must have been out of it for an hour. Next to you lies Matthias, unconscious, it seems, with one leaf in his hand. And you both gain a relation. You increase your relation with each other with a +1. You realize that you have a stronger bond than this world. A bond that transcends the physicality of this world. Even if this vision wasn't true, even if it was all something you imagined, you shared it. And it was horrific and extraordinary.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played the 2022 KULTMAS scenario Together Unto Death for Divinity Lost. Divinity Lost is published by our friends at Helmgast, who have also kindly sponsored the series. The music was made by Atrium Carceri, featuring a number of collaborations with other artists, and was used with permission from their label, Cryochamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody dark ambient. We'd like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia, Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Julián, Cameron, Xabier, and Antxon for their generous support. And we'd of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as the champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Kult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember, death is only the beginning.